Chapter 8. The space between where you are and where you want to be. There is a moment in everyone's life when they find themselves standing in the uncomfortable space between where they are and where they want to be. It's the in-between, the phase of transition that no one prepares you for. You've outgrown what's familiar, yet you haven't quite stepped into what's next. It's unsettling, filled with questions that have no clear answers. At first, this space can feel like failure, like stagnation, like proof that you aren't moving fast enough. But what if this uncomfortable in-between isn't an obstacle at all? What if it's a necessary part of growth? We don't talk enough about this space, about the frustration of waiting, the patience required for progress that isn't immediately visible. We celebrate breakthroughs, achievements, and moments of clarity, but we skip over the long stretches of doubt, the seasons of uncertainty that precede them. And yet, this is where transformation happens. If you find yourself here now, feeling restless, feeling stuck, this chapter is for you. Discomfort is not the enemy. The world often tells us that progress should feel good, that if you're on the right path, things should align effortlessly. But real growth rarely works that way. Sometimes progress feels like standing still. Sometimes it feels like waiting in the dark. There's a concept in psychology called the liminal space, the threshold between one phase of life and the next. It's the time between what was and what will be. It's the feeling of leaving behind an old identity but not yet stepping fully into the new one. And the thing about liminal spaces is that they are deeply uncomfortable. They challenge our patience, test our faith, and demand that we sit with uncertainty instead of rushing to escape it. In 2021, The Guardian published an article about athletes facing retirement, detailing how even the most accomplished players, those who had spent decades mastering their craft, felt lost when their careers ended. They knew they couldn't stay where they were, but they had no clear roadmap for what came next. And for many, this uncertainty was more terrifying than failure. It's not just athletes who experience this. It's anyone who has ever walked away from a job, left a long-term relationship, moved to a new city, or pursued something bigger than themselves. There is always that in-between, where old rhythms no longer fit, but new ones haven't fully formed. The discomfort of this space does not mean you're lost. It means you're evolving. The illusion of having it all figured out. Social media has made it worse. We're surrounded by carefully curated snapshots of people who seem to have their lives perfectly aligned, flawless careers, beautiful relationships, endless accomplishments. It's easy to believe that everyone else has clarity while you're struggling to find your footing. But the truth is, no one has it all figured out. Not completely. There was a time when I thought success would bring certainty, that once I reached a certain milestone, the doubt would disappear. But if anything, growth just introduces new unknowns. The best leaders, the most accomplished people, the ones who truly seem self-assured, they are often just better at navigating uncertainty, not immune to it. In an interview with BBC in 2022, best-selling author Elizabeth Day spoke about how her biggest moments of self-discovery came not when things were going right, but when everything fell apart. She had spent years building a career that suddenly unraveled, forcing her to reevaluate what she truly wanted. And in that space of uncertainty, she realized that clarity wasn't something she had to find. It was something she had to allow to unfold. If you're in a season of uncertainty right now, remind yourself, everyone you admire has been here too. You're not behind. You're not failing. You are simply in the space between. Navigating the space between. A psychological perspective. Understanding how to exist in uncertainty requires more than just patience. It requires a shift in mindset. Psychologist Carol Dweck's research on the growth mindset versus the fixed mindset provides insight into how people respond to uncertainty. Those with a fixed mindset see challenges as proof that they lack ability, while those with a growth mindset see challenges as opportunities to learn. If you're standing in this space between uncertain about what's next, ask yourself, am I seeing this as a failure or as a moment of transformation? Research in positive psychology also highlights the role of cognitive reframing, the ability to shift perspective on a situation to see it in a new light. Studies show that individuals who practice reframing uncertainty as a chance for personal reinvention rather than a crisis experience lower stress and higher resilience. Fredrickson, 2001. Your experience of this space will be shaped by how you define it. Is it a waiting room or is it a training ground? Is it stagnation or is it preparation? How to move forward when you don't know what's next. If you can't control the timeline of clarity, what can you do? You build your foundation. You create small stepping stones toward growth, even when you don't yet see the full path. Learn something new. Growth doesn't always require a complete reinvention. Sometimes it's about deepening your expertise in something small, mastering a skill, exploring a new passion, or simply expanding your understanding of yourself. Lean into relationships. Isolation makes uncertainty harder. Surround yourself with people who remind you of who you are, even when you're doubting yourself. Conversations with mentors, friends, or even strangers can offer perspective you can't see on your own. Redefine progress. Not every step forward will feel significant. Sometimes progress looks like getting out of bed when you don't feel like it. Sometimes it's showing up, even when you're not at your best. It's not about perfection, it's about momentum. Practice patience. This is the hardest one. When you're in a hurry to figure things out, patience feels impossible. But trust that the clarity you're looking for is on its way, and that every uncertain step you take now is part of the journey. A balanced perspective on uncertainty. While uncertainty can be fertile ground for growth, it is also a space where fear and self-doubt can take root. Psychological studies on decision fatigue, Baumeister, 2011, suggest that prolonged uncertainty can drain mental energy, making it harder to take action. This is why small, deliberate decisions, setting a morning routine, committing to a skill, engaging in daily reflection, can provide the structure needed to stay grounded. There is also a sociological aspect to uncertainty. Cultural expectations, financial realities, and systemic barriers all shape the space between where we are and where we want to be. Acknowledging these external factors doesn't mean we are powerless. It means we can be more intentional about how we navigate them. Uncertainty is not just an individual experience, it is a universal one. Recognizing this can help ease the burden of feeling like you must figure it all out alone. Questions for reflection. What season of transition are you currently in, and how are you navigating it? How do you typically react to uncertainty? Do you try to rush through it, or can you sit with it? Where in your life do you need to redefine progress? Who are the people who remind you of your worth, even when you doubt it? How can you practice trusting that clarity will come in its own time? A quiet invitation. This week, instead of fighting against the unknown, try making space for it. Instead of demanding clarity, try trusting that it will arrive. Take one small action toward your next step, not because you have everything figured out, but because you are becoming the person who will. The space between where you are and where you want to be is not emptiness, it's transformation in progress.